Do you remember your first car? Was it a sleek, fine-tuned piece of machinery, a love affair on wheels? Or was it a box with engine held together by duct tape and a few prayers that hopefully will get you from day to day? I found that the car that you drive says a lot about where you are in life. My first car was a Toyota Corolla, circa late 80s, early 90s. It was a gray little box, nothing exciting, but did the job. What made it really special for me, however, was that I had inherited it from my grandmother, who unfortunately had passed away by that point. Now, it was the summer before my senior year in high school. Finally had my license, and I was going to be allowed to drive my car to school. You know what that means? My already relatively small amount of cool points that I had from being a little bit of a bookworm, we're going to get a little bit more maximized because I had a car and I was driving to school. Unfortunately, there was a little event that came up just a couple weeks before school started. It was a tropical storm that decided to visit Virginia Beach. Between all the rain and the wind and the drama, a rather substantial tree decided that it wanted to take a little bit of a closer look at my little Toyota Corolla parked in the driveway. What this translates to in terms of insurance speak is my car got totaled. And in the days following until it got towed away, it got more attention from the neighborhood boys than I ever did. Well, fortunately I did start off my senior high school with a ride from Mom. Not exactly what I had in mind, but luckily, not long into the school year, I did get another car. It was a Chevy Nova, a little bit of a box of a red car, matte red, not really spectacular. An interesting note, Nova in Spanish translates to mean it doesn't go. This has led to an urban legend that Chevy had, let's say, some challenges selling the Nova in Spanish-speaking countries like Mexico. Turns out this is only an urban legend. It's sold fine, but still. So I made the best of it. It wasn't, again, not the most exciting car, but put my stickers on it. You know, my favorite music band at the time, I think I had a Strong Woman sticker on the back of it, and I even brought my own sound system, which came in the form of a cassette player and mixtapes that I made myself that lived underneath the driver's side seat. Go me. Sure enough, my little Nova did go, made my way through my senior year, made my way through my first little police stop, and it even made its way a little bit into college. Unfortunately, it was already kind of in the twilight years of its life, and it finally lived up to its translated name about my freshman year, and, well, the Nova didn't go anymore. So, in college, my car career kind of was like what you'd expect in your experience with college. You're trying new things, you're experimenting, and I'll admit I guess you could say, dated around with cars in college. First was a blue Stan. I don't even remember the brand, if that tells you how uneventful that dating life was. You've heard of a hand-me-down. Well, this ended up being a hand-me-up to my sister, probably a couple months after having it. And then, I have to admit, a brief stint with my mom's minivan. Yeah, minivan in college. It's kind of like dating that old-fashioned, awkward little boy in the back of the classroom when you really need a date but don't have any other options. But luckily that too was short-lived. And towards the end of my college career, I was finally establishing myself. I saw where I was going, I had my footing down, and I had a pretty solid relationship that established with a nice breeze, Ford Breeze. and it's nice curved, kind of like me, but mine came from freshman 15, and it was purple. That for me was the seller. It was purple. I love purple. It was me, and I was ready to take on the world post-college with my little breeze, and we did. We coasted through graduation, successfully achieving our diploma. We even got into our first big girl career. I even saw a couple trips up to Busch Gardens during the summer when I worked as a game host. Unfortunately, a few years in, as it seems to be my trend with cars, we were kind of starting to reach the end of the life of the Breeze 2. It was a used car, like its predecessors before it. And, well, I was kind of getting established in the world. I was getting more experienced, I had my footing, I knew where I was going, I had moved out, I was a little bit more independent. So, I decided, rather than keep putting money into a car to repair it, kind of like my job at the time, which had been great, but I was putting a lot of stress and energy, and it was starting to be time to look for a new job there too. I decided to get my first car, the first one that I would pay for myself. That would be my car entirely. I wanted something that was going to get me there, that was going to be dependable, that was going to have a little sit to it, but that, like how I approach most things in life, is still going to take what I've learned in the past and kind of pay homage to my history. Did a lot of research, but really in the end of the day, there's only one car that I wanted, and that was a gray Toyota Corolla. So, my very first car that I bought was a gray Toyota Corolla, and on its license plate, I have "For my Oma." Oma is German for grandma. So that was my tribute to my grandmother, and my little Corolla has seen me through 7 years so far. She's still going, and on the road of life, I've been a Corolla, a Nova, a sedan, a minivan, a Breeze, and now a Corolla again. So what's up next? Don't tell my Corolla, but I'm kind of eyeing a little Honda Fit, a little bit more zip to it. So on the road of life, what kind of car are you? Kind of contest share.